What is good, YouTube? It's that one camera guy back at it again with another video for you. I just had the chance to go shoot some basketball with the Sony A9 with the Sigma MC-11 adapter with the 1.07 firmware update from the Canon EF to E-mount adapter. Shot some basketball. Let me show you some of the results. So it's been like 12 hours since I shot the basketball game. I'm going to go over the images that I took, as well as some video footage from the Ninja Tomos that sort of recorded what I was shooting. Most of these images I shot were from the Sigma 50-100 f1.8. I didn't really get a chance to test out the Sigma 120-300 as much as I was hoping for, because my primary focus was to see how well adapted glass, especially the Sigma lenses, would perform in this kind of environment. I'm going to let the results speak for itself. I'll kind of talk about what's going on a little bit, and I'll try to breeze through as fast as I can in this video. So let's go ahead and jump to the images. Information about what I was using is posted up on the right hand side. So these are just the A9, most of these are 50-100s, and I'll let you know if it changes. But if we take a look at the images here as the person's going, you'll notice that it stays in focus, okay? Even through these sequences. There might be moments where the subject kind of loses focus a little bit, but for the most part, the subjects in these examples stay in focus through and through. Now, don't mind the heavy vignetting. I was very aware of this, by the way. It wasn't... I was very understanding that it was going to vignette on the 50-100. I've used it before in full frame. I just wanted, this was like, you know, a prime glass to try out as far as autofocusing for basketball. I really like the 50-100 range. But anyway, let's keep going on. So there we go. There's the image. We have a player here. He's moving. He's coming towards me. And the camera is still locking focus the entire time through there. Again, I think we're shooting at continuous high, so we're shooting at 20 frames per second, I believe. I could be completely wrong, could be medium, but as you can tell, the subjects stay in focus through and through. As far as times when the photos were out of focus, it didn't happen too often. So let's take a look at this one little segment here where he goes out of focus, and then you notice it catches the focus short afterwards as the guy is going. Again, I'm just breezing through these images so you can see. Take a look. We got a player here. He's going down. He's going all the way through. And it looks sharp all the way through. It looks sharp all the way through as they're going through. Okay, keeps up. Keeps up. Guy goes for the layup. Guy's going through. Lens is keeping up. The A9 is keeping up. And again, I'm motor driving just to motor drive to test out the lens. Again, I wouldn't shoot this many photos. But yeah. There, even a kid ran through the front, didn't bother the actual camera. They kept doing just fine. Here we go. Like, guys in focus. I know it's going quick. I do apologize, but I just want to stress that the images are staying in focus. The camera's locking in it with the Sigma MC-11 adapter. There we go. Following this guy over here with the shirt. Relax. There he goes. We lose a little bit of focus, but it catches it again. That's interesting. Out of focus. Now he's in focus. He's moving. Focus, focus, focus. Out of focus. And comes back in focus as he goes up for the layup. Stays in focus. This guy's going down. No, we're not doing bad. Let's see here. This is with the 300, the Sigma 120-300 lens. So this is with a different lens already. I didn't really get to shoot much with it, but notice even with the 120-300, kept up. There we go, the guy's going down, moving through, cutting through players, stays in focus, goes out of focus, I don't know, and picks up focus towards the end. This guy's moving forward. Out of focus, coming back in focus, going through. Okay, he's going for a layup. Stays in focus. Stays in focus up until there. You know, this is not really ideal. I mean, granted, sometimes I use a 120-300 for basketball to get really tight shots. But there we go. This is a good example of it going in and out of focus. So the guy's going, we lose focus there, comes back in focus, lose it, goes back in focus a little bit towards the end. All right. So those are the example images that I got that kind of illustrated it. I would say it feels like it's 85% of a native lens. I'm not going to say it's 100%. It's kind of a subjective value that I'm giving it. So it does feel like an 85% of the actual lens, which I think is pretty decent. Okay, so as far as my conclusions thus far, I am going to be shooting some soccer today, depending on when you see this, with the Sigma 120-300 outdoors. I would say this is a really good example of indoor shooting. I also did some video footage, some video recording, and the autofocus continuous actually kept up with the subjects using the Sigma MC-11 adapter, as you can see in the example. It did a good job. The A9's video looked pretty good from my viewpoint, from my eyes. And like I said, I think it's like 85%. It doesn't have the same native speed, obviously, that you would expect, for example, like out of a G Master. It doesn't have that quickness, but it's still pretty good. And I'm very happy that Sigma did this update. It's showing that they are still invested, obviously, in their glass, and they want people to buy it. And they want to keep the people who have Sony gear to check it out. Unfortunately, again, like I said, I didn't get to try out some other Sony cameras. I'll try and test out the Alpha 6500 today when I go shoot. Well, that's it. That's all I got for you. Like the video if you found it helpful. I'd really appreciate it. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And with that said, I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.